He is not my best friend, but he's not an enemy. I love my country. We are not terrorists.
Donald Trump, not very long ago, said, Mr. Zelensky, you don't have the cards. What changed?
What changed?
President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, thank you for joining us on the new Axios show today. Let's do it Axios style, smart, fast, to the point.
Like you want.
Okay.
You said smart and?
Smart, fast, and to the point.
Okay, so smart from your side and from my fast, I will try.
If there's one thing I thought before this interview is that I really wanted to see the look on your face yesterday when you read President Trump's post on Truth Social.
The face was happy.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was very surprised. Yeah, first of all, I didn't read, and all my team told me that I think that President understood you totally.
You met yesterday with President Trump. Take us into the room. How did it go?
Oh, between us, much more better than I could estimate. I'm really happy that President was detailedly prepared about the situation on the battlefield, and he understands that Putin doesn't win. For today, he has a lot of losses, thousands of losses, and that was good that President understood that it's important just to trust us. For me, it's very important. Putin lied him, and that was my feeling yesterday, that he understood.
That he understands.
Yes, that he understands that Putin is playing games with him. And really, to my mind, President Trump gave him more than he deserves, because Putin was happy. It was his dream to meet with Trump, especially during this isolation moment from the very beginning of full-scale war.
Yes.
And that's why the meeting in Alaska, and he, of course, President Trump did it, I think, because he wanted to have this window, not closed diplomatic window, for the next future negotiations. And I think that President thought that Putin will accept it. But Putin didn't give him this.
Yeah. Another thing that I thought that, and I don't know if you agree, maybe it's just Trump being Trump when he writes that kind of post. Maybe there's no real change in the policy here. Maybe he's just, writing this, and tomorrow he'll write something different.
God bless no. I don't know. It depends on his decision. He's a president, and it's his own decision. But I think that he wants to finish this war, and he said about it many times that he wants to finish this war. And now he sees that Russian leader doesn't want to finish.
But he already said,
less pressure.
He already said that he's mad. He already said, I'm mad about Putin. I'm disappointed about Putin. Then he went and hugged him in Alaska. So do you understand where he really is? Because on the one hand, again, he says, I'm mad at Putin, but I'm hugging with him in Alaska with airplanes, with soldiers, with everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up.
We saw everything. Between us, I think that Putin wanted really images with President Trump, just images, and that's all. And he didn't want trilateral meeting in Alaska, because for him, it's unsuccessful just to meet with me, because he needs outcome even for his society.
Yeah. So now you believe that President Trump actually finally wants Ukraine to win?
Yes.
Donald Trump, not very long ago, said that, Mr. Zelensky, you don't have the cards.
Yeah.
So what changed?
What changed? I think the situation with Putin, his relationship with Putin. And I think that President Trump understood that Putin will not bring him success. Even if we will look at this moment like the society, American society, I think, which is very important for President of the United States, the support of society. And for any kind of leader, it's very important. Now, I think that society, really, American society, doesn't respect and doesn't trust Putin. And mostly they doesn't trust that he wants to finish this war.
What was the number one lesson you had from this meeting back in February in the Oval Office? What was the lesson other than wearing a jacket?
I can't tell you.
But you will.
Yeah, yes. Not now.
Okay.
Okay, not now.
After
a little bit later.
After you finish, after you retire, or after Trump retires?
No. After me, it doesn't matter. I mean, a little bit later, but I will tell you.
Because your meetings afterwards with Trump, your recent meetings with him were much better. And, I was wondering if you just realized that the way to make him happy is just to suck up to him.
No, I think the question is that I'm honest. I love my country, and I'm very clear in my messages. That's why White House was lesson not only for me, I think for other side also. We understood each other, and it's better than to be very polite just because you afraid the president of the United States. I'm not such person. I was very open, and I think that strong people respects the position. Even if this position is not very polite, even if this position is not, you don't like it, but you respect.
Yes.
If you're a strong man with a clear position.
And let's talk about another person on the other side, Vice President J.D. Vance. Is he your biggest enemy in this administration?
No, he's not my best friend, but he's not an enemy.
And
he can be a good friend of Ukraine.
How?
How has to come and to Ukraine
because I think you invited him several times.
I invited him.
So why is he not coming?
I don't know. This question to him, maybe he will be on this place and answer on this question. But I think it's chemistry. You have to come to Ukraine, love Ukraine or not. It depends on your, it's on your point of view, on your feelings, and etc. And I think that he has come to Ukraine and he will love Ukraine.
With everything Trump wrote yesterday, which was, again, a very big shift, Ukraine is at the moment definitely not losing the war, but it's also at the moment not winning.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, it's true. We don't have enough weapon. We don't have a lot of things. We are not comparable with the number of weapon, drones, artillery, and missiles. The biggest problem that we don't have enough air defense.
So you don't feel that today the US is not giving you a green light to use US weapons for long-range strikes inside Russia?
Be very honest. I think that if we will have such long-distance weapon from the United States, we will use it.
So we
will use it.
Against Moscow?
Look, it's not about, we are not terrorists. Even our people, for today, they hate Russians because they began the war and they kill us. But all our people understand that we don't need to attack civilians. But if we know what does it mean, the rules of this war. So we will attack their military. But if they will do blackout for us, and if we will have long distance weapon, more strong weapon from the United States, we will attack their energy.
And they attacked the Prime Minister's office.
Yeah, they attacked.
So what would you tell somebody who works at the Kremlin today? Would you tell him to make sure he knows where the nearest bomb shelter is?
First of all, they have to know where their bomb shelters are. They need it. If they will not stop the war, they will need it in any case. And they have to know that we in Ukraine, each day we will answer If they will attack us, we will answer them.
But when it comes to getting the territory back, every expert I spoke to, including people in Ukraine, think that it is close to impossible to get all the territory back militarily.
Because you will have human losses. If you will use only such weapon, what you have, you will have human losses. That's why it's a mistake, to lose so many people, because the land without people, what does it mean? No, it's not about territories. It's about Ukraine independence, our sovereignty, and of course, first of all, about our humanity, about our people. That's why we will not lose for the kilometers. We will not lose our population, of course.
One of the things that were discussed as part of the diplomatic talks are some sort of territorial concessions. Are there any territorial concessions that you would agree in order for to get a deal that ends the war? Or is this something that you say never?
No, we will never recognize these territories which are temporarily occupied, like the territories of Russia. We can't do it.
But the question was not if you're going to recognize. The question was if you're going to agree to say, well, this, the border was here, now it's here.
Between us,
what can I do?
Between us. So if you will look at today's situation, if tomorrow will be a ceasefire, everybody's standing. If we don't have power to bring back these territories, so we are ready to speak about it. We are ready to get it back sometime in the future by diplomatic way, not with weapon. And I think this is good compromise for everybody. It's been that we have to decide such things now in dialogue and less losses.
What is the one big thing, tangible thing, real thing, not a post on Truth Social, the one thing that you need President Trump to give you in order for you to win on the battlefield?
I think President Trump knows. I said to him yesterday, what we need, one thing. I said already to him.
Which was?
I will not tell you which was it, but I will tell you that he said, we will work on it.
Was it a weapon system that you feel you need?
We need it. It doesn't, by the way, we need it, but it doesn't mean that we will use it. Because if we will have it, I think it's additional pressure on Putin to sit and speak. There is only one thing what President Trump really can give us, using any kind of systems, but he can stop Putin. He can pressure him to sit and stop the war, go to diplomacy.
You mentioned the Russian air violations into NATO countries, the drones in Poland, what happened in airports in Denmark, in Norway.
In Romania also.
Do you think the response so far has been weak?
Very. We decided at the very beginning we will be very honest. Yeah, so I think yes. Weak reaction. So that's why he continued with other countries.
So you agree with President Trump that NATO members should just shoot down the drones, shoot down the Russian jets?
They had to shoot down everything. If somebody is on your land killing your people, you have to answer this person. If the jets are in your space, you have to block it.
So you think they're afraid? You think that NATO members are just afraid to do it because they afraid from the Russian response?
I think mostly, they, of course, there are some, I know some leaders, they are not afraid, but mostly countries afraid. They're afraid is because I think that they are right that Russia is crazy.
In your meeting yesterday with President Trump, did you discuss with him the issue of security guarantees,
yes.
U.S. security guarantees?
Yes, I said we need bilateral security guarantees. Of course, the part like backstop for our coalition buildings, this is a great idea, but this is like to strengthen and to give more support for Europeans, especially for them who some of them who are balancing and thinking to give troops or not to give boots on the ground or just intelligence, etc. So backstop of the United States will give them
confidence.
Confidence, yeah. But we, in any case, I said to the president, we need bilateral security guarantees. Ukraine, United States, bilateral security guarantees, legally binding. So this is important.
And you feel that a security guarantee from Donald Trump is something you can trust?
Yes, because he is the president of the United States, and security guarantees from the United States between us work in the world.
When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining,
You're good to me.
there'll be days like this. My mama
This
told
way is
me
way faster.
there'll be days like this.
Mr. President, I remember how on February 25th, 2022, we ran a story on Axios that said how you had a video call with the leaders of the EU. And you told them at that call, this might be the last time you'd see me alive. Did you think that at that time, that 3.5 years later, you'll be sitting here in New York having this conversation?
Of course not. 100% not. Yes, I addressed to EU leaders, and you know that I had conversations with American president. I addressed to Europeans, a lot of leaders. I had conversations each 5-10 minutes with different leaders from different continents. And of course, the EU support, Europe support in wider sense, I mean, UK plus. So it was very important for Ukraine, because I understood that we need very much have short distance and have support from Europeans. And I addressed them without any, papers, without any speeches, without nothing. I just shared with them all my emotions and all my thoughts. And I understood that it will be difficult for us. And of course, I didn't know that I will be, and we all, and my team, that we will be alive. Is it right in English? Alive in 3.5 years. I thought only about one thing: how to join my country now, and how to give signal that somebody from Europe will help us.
Yes.
Somebody will help us from the world.
There were no elections in Ukraine for a long time because of the war. But don't you think that maybe it will be a good idea, because you're in front of historical decisions, whether it's escalating the war or taking decisions that are needed for peace? Don't you think it might be a good idea to go back to the people and get a mandate for those historical decisions?
Look, yesterday I said to the president, everybody understand, by the way, that elections now, according to the law, is unbelievable. And first of all, security situation is unbelievable for the election period. But I said to him yesterday, I think that if we will have ceasefire, I think we can use this period of time, and I can give this signal to the parliament, and parliament can think. Maybe even it will be difficult according to our constitution to go to the elections, but parliamentarians can try to find a way how to do elections. But we need ceasefire.
So do you commit that if tomorrow President Putin agrees for a ceasefire of 3 months, 6 months, whatever, you will push forward to go for elections in Ukraine?
Yes. Because during this period of time, that Ukraine and Russia and the United States have to find a way how really finish this war. And I'm not against. If people want to see the leader which has to have new mandate. Yes, if security situation, but during the ceasefire, I think security can give the possibility to have elections. It can be so.
And do you see yourself, after the war is over, staying as Ukraine's president also in peacetime? Or are you going to say, I served my country at its most difficult moment in history, and now I'm stepping down?
If we will finish war with Russians, yes, I'm ready not to go, because it's not my goal, elections. I wanted very much in a very difficult period of time, be with my country, help my country. Yes, that's it, what I wanted always. So this is not my dream, just to have elections. My goal is to finish the war.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are thousands of Ukrainian children that are in Russia.
Yeah.
If they or their families are watching you right now, what would you want to tell them?
First of all, I want them to be happy. And I want, of course, them to bring back to Ukraine. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that we didn't have enough power not to give the possibility for Russians to stolen them. But we will bring them back to their native country, to their relatives. It's so important. And of course, it depends on their will. Of course, because we are fighting for freedom, that we can't be near them now. It's a pity that, first of all, their relatives can't be there. So this is a big tragedy, tragedy. Because each it's not even about thousands, it's about each child.
Mr. President, you are today the most important Jewish leader in the world. And the Jewish people celebrating this week Rosh Hashanah, Novi Rik. What do you wish for yourself and for Ukraine for the new Jewish year?
Only peace. This is I have only one goal, and I'm happy, and I'm sure that all Ukrainians want this, and I wish everybody in the world just peace. And God bless, you will never know the price of peace. It means that you will never feel what people feel during the war. So I wish just peace.
And next week is the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur, Sudni Din. It's a day of self-reflection, of atonement. What do you think, is there anything or anybody that you would wish to apologize on this day?
My mother, my father, because I'm deeply in my job. Sometimes I don't have time just to speak with them and just to hate, just to comment, to be thankful for that they gave me everything what I have. That's brain education, and I think the family warmth, and I'm very apologizing. And my wife and my children, again, because I all my time is with my today's job. But I think that they understand that for each man, I think, in the world, the priority is his family. His family, it's mean his country, because family is a part of your world, and your world is your country. Yes, and for me, because of this profession, the priority is Ukraine. And it's a pity that I have to recognize this is the priority, to finish this war, and only then time for my family. I'm apologizing, but this is what am I
Mr. President, I wanted to wish you Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
And thank you for being with us on the Axios Show.
Thank you
very
so
much.
Thank you very much.